The fate of Sean Diddy Combs is now in the hands of jurors. That's after prosecutors and the music mogul's defense team delivered their closing arguments last week. So what has the more than 6-week trial heard? Combs has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of sex trafficking, as well as charges of racketeering conspiracy and transportation to engage in prostitution. The sex trafficking counts carry the highest potential prison sentence if convicted, a mandatory minimum of 15 years and a possible life sentence. The case centres on parties in hotel rooms, sometimes known as freak-offs. The prosecution says Combs forced 2 former girlfriends into ecstasy-fueled, days-long sexual performances with male prostitutes at these events, while he watched, masturbated and sometimes filmed. Prosecutors have shown ample evidence that Combs physically abused his former girlfriends and directed them to have sex with paid male escorts. But to convict Combs of sex trafficking, the prosecution needs to prove that the sex acts were commercial in nature and that Combs used force, threats, fraud or coercion to compel his girlfriends to take part. On the stand, the former girlfriends, Cassandra Ventura and a woman known by the pseudonym Jane, have both said Combs beat them and threatened to cut off financial support and leak sex tapes. Combs' defense lawyers do not deny that the sex acts took place. They also acknowledge that he was abusive in domestic relationships. However, they argue that Ventura and Jane were willing participants in the freak-offs. That defense has included showing jurors text messages, ranging from tender to sexually explicit, sent by Ventura to Combs over their decade-long relationship. Prosecutors argue the longevity of Ventura's and Jane's relationships with Combs does not mean they consented to take part in the sex acts. Forensic psychologist Dawn Hughes, testifying as an expert witness in May, said victims of sexual violence can form a trauma bond with their perpetrators that can make it difficult to leave an abusive relationship. Combs decided not to testify, and the defense spent half an hour making its case. Defendants in US criminal cases are not required to present evidence, and judges instruct juries not to hold a refusal to testify against them. To convict Combs on any of the 5 counts he faces, the 12-member panel must unanimously conclude that prosecutors have proved their allegations beyond a reasonable doubt.